Hello, welcome to another Chad's beer review, and we are the Amasofats.
Buys the beer.
Whether it's a lager or an ale, whether it's a stout, light, dark, or pale, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's beer reviews. He's not quite an amateur, not quite a connoisseur, but regardless of the brewer, he's got taste in beer for sure. You can tell just by his gut, this guy is a bona fide beer nut. So whether it's a porter or an IPA, whether it's from Europe or the USA, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's beer reviews.
Howdy ho, people. It's time for another episode of Chad's beer reviews. I don't know if you can tell, but I went back to my old camera. That new one I got was just such a pain in the ass. But anyways, let's get to the beer here. This is from Vermont, the Long Trail Brewmaster Series Double IPA. 8.6% ABV, 86 IBUs. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a date on there of 04/13/11. I hope that was the bottling date and not the expiration date, because it was about 4 months ago, and even 4 months, even for a double IPA, is a little old. So there's no description about it. So let's just get right to it. All right, well. Pretty nice looking beer here. I mean, that body's just straight up orange. There's no other color to describe that but orange. Nice head on there. It's a, you know, kind of a yellowish froth, a little soapy. Smells pretty good. It doesn't smell like it's been spoiled or sour or anything. I mean, it's just lots and lots of pine. Kind of like a lighter pine, not so much the sticky pine. A lot of flowers, kind of reminds me of Indica Flower Power. Almost kind of a buttery scent to it. Smells very sweet. You know, usually a lot of the West Coast ones are the sweeter ones. So maybe this East Coast one will be sweet. Let's give it a try. Cheers. Yeah. It's... Like I said, with the West Coast, it has that West Coast sweetness, especially in the aftertaste. You know, a lot of the Alpine, Stone, Ballast Point, they all have like that tropical fruit to the middle, and almost like a juicy nectar thing on the back end. That's exactly what you get here, except the front, instead of being citrus, is pine. It's you know. Like I said with the nose, kind of more of a lighter pine needles than rather sticky, sappy pine. I noticed the bitterness like as soon as it hits my tongue. You know, 86 IBUs is nothing to sneeze at. It doesn't really seem to be quite that bitter. Then again, you know, I'm drinking this rather cold, probably a little too cold. I can tell that this beer is going to get even more bitter, more flavorful, more complex as it warms up. You know, I'm getting nice lacing as you can see. Well, you probably can't because that camera doesn't focus. Autofocus, but yeah, so far, you know, for a 4-month-old beer, it's pretty darn good. I like the combination of the bitterness in the back end with that tropical fruit juice, almost like a concentrate. Yeah, this is really good. I'm surprised. So, yeah, I got plenty of time and beer to kill here. So, I'll sip on this and we'll come back to my final thoughts. Cheers. Alright, I am back finishing the Long Trail Brewmaster Series Double IPA. I hate beers with long names. They just... Short name, please. Anyways, I gotta say I was pleasantly surprised on this one. It is, you know, very interesting, I don't say hybrid, but just has components of both East and West Coast double IPAs. You know, that tropical fruit, like nectar, juiciness you would get from a Sculpin or a Ruination or... you know, Racer 5, something like that. But at the same time, up front, it's just all East Coast, with a lighter pine. Calling Dogfish Head 60 up front. What separates, you know, the East Coast doubles from the West Coast doubles is like, you know, there's no real kind of coffee bitterness on here, which a lot of East Coast doubles and Imperials tend to have. And it's not in the barley wine territory like a Southern Tiered Unearthly. It's just a straight up double IPA. More flavor, more energy, you know. It's what's really impressive is that it's like so damn drinkable. You know, even 86 IBUs, 8.6 ABV, you don't taste, you don't feel, you don't smell the alcohol. The bitterness, I mean, 86, if I was drinking this wine, I'd peg it more towards, you know, the 60s or something. It does not really seem that bitter. This would be a great beer to have with, like, you know, any kind of spicy food at the bar. In fact, I have had this with spicy food at the bar about a year ago when I was down visiting the Amosofats. We had this beer on tap with some spicy wings, and I'll put the clip up here or there or whatever. So go check that out. But I haven't had it since then, so, you know, gotta say I'm pleasantly surprised. Really like it. Bitterness is nice and high, juicy fruit, sweetness, great balance in there. You know, it's not quite a Hall of Fame beer like the aforementioned ones. You know, it's not applying or anything, but it's a really, really good double IPA. And I would love to get a fresh bottle of this because I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I think a fresh or right off the tap might even be closer to a 9. So if you see this, I would not hesitate to pick this up. Long Trail Brewmaster Series Double IPA, 8 out of 10 from Chad's Beer Review. So, thanks for watching this episode. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.